Welcome back. You're still with Perspective. I'm Bhimanto Suwastoyo, and we're talking to the EU and Sweden ambassadors. Can I get back to that comprehensive agreement? Trade between Europe and Indonesia, I know it's been rising for the past 10 years. It hasn't going down in 2013, maybe because of conditions in Europe, I don't know.
The trend is actually very interesting,
right,
because it's going up in terms of what the EU is doing here. We are the second largest provider of foreign direct investment.
Investment, yes.
So, you know, your government should be very much aware, and they are, about the tremendous contribution that European Union companies are making in investments in this country.
Right.
We're also a huge market for you. We're actually your largest export market, overtaken China as your largest export market. So the figures are very impressive. Yeah. But exports of EU to Indonesia, that third leg of the equation, is going down. But that's true for many countries are struggling a bit, if I may say so, in terms of exporting to Indonesia. And when I look at trade, the figures are good, it's healthy. You have a very rare situation with the European Union because you export more to us than you import. You have a surplus, and I think that's very rare for Indonesia with the big partners like us, which is good. You know, we don't mind that. It's good for Indonesia too. But, and this is the point that both we and Indonesia have identified, trade is still below, you know, the European trade with Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore. And that's, to me, as an ambassador, this is almost an insult.
Well, Singapore, I would say, okay.
Yeah, well, that's there are things.
Party,
and also statistically, you don't always know what's what. But it's almost an insult to me as an ambassador to this huge country with a tremendous possibility that are here, that we're not doing more. You know, so this is very strong, very high on my agenda, and that's why I think this. Trade agreement or this economic agreement would be a win-win. You know, we could increase trade in both directions, which would help development of Indonesia, and it would help create jobs and growth also in Europe.
Yeah, Sweden, in terms of part of Europe, is one of the largest country that's trading with us, no? In terms of trade.
I'm not sure we are. I would give a guess that Germany and France are and Britain, of course, are passing us. But we do have a number of companies that are based here. We have around 80 Swedish companies with a presence in Indonesia. And many of them are manufactured. Many of them have been here for a very long time. Volvo, you have Tetra Pak, Ericsson, SKF, Atlas Copco. I could do the list, but we don't have time for that.
Yeah, but no. That's an interesting point because I know because I work in the media, so I usually know what companies say. But in general, the public, when you say, well, Volvo, they would understand. But when they see Sweden, they would say ABBA, Ericsson, maybe. But they come and, for example, go to H&M, for example. They don't realize
they don't know it's Swedish. No,
absolutely. So there's a branding problem there. So, like, what are you doing for that?
Well, I think for some of the companies, they're in sectors that the public really wouldn't know about. I mean, automotive sector, infrastructure, sectors that are interesting for the government and for developing Indonesia. But we are working on
large consumer companies as well.
Yeah, there are, and well, we have IKEA that just started up here. It's very Swedish, very present, very visible, I think. But we're also working on our own branding as Sweden, as country. What do we have to offer in terms of values, innovation, and other things? You know, what is Sweden all about? What can we? Why is Sweden so interesting for Indonesia?
I wish you stand and says like, we're Swedish. Like, I really see it. Even IKEA, when you come, you know, oh, it's Scandinavian, but you don't really pinpoint, oh, it's Swedish, for example.
Oh, but Sweden is very far away from Indonesia. We're on the other side of the world, and we're a very small country. You know, Swedish population is about a third of Jakarta. We're 9 million people.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so it's...
Send people from here doing some transmigration. Back to EU. You're still aiming for an FTA, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Between the EU and Indonesia. This comprehensive, agreement. Have you had it with other countries in the region, for example? Have you completed them with?
Well, we have completed the PCA, the partnership agreement that we started talking about.
Yeah.
Indonesia is the first to sign with us in Asia. So that's, you know, a vanguard sort of thing, right? But when it comes to the trade agreements, the comprehensive economic partnership agreement, there we're moving along. We're not sitting on our hands because, you know, we find it's very much in our interest to have those kind of agreements. So we are, you know, we've signed with Singapore, we're going ahead with Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam, the US, you know. So there's a lot of things happening, and this concerns me a little bit, that we are a little bit idle with Indonesia, and that we haven't been able to gain the momentum sufficiently to put that, you know, very high on the agenda. So that's part of my goals for the next for the next year.
Okay, we have to break once again. I'm sorry, but we'll be back soon. Please stay with us.